We all have our favorite Easter eggs, ranging from the weirdest ones to the most memorable. Some of them are completely useless. My favorite is the cake room. There is nothing more that screams nostalgia to me than watching other YouTubers showing you how to do this in that good quality 2008 footage while playing Still Alive. And that song itself is a foreshadowing Easter egg. But where exactly did Easter eggs come from? Well, they've been around for a while and they're not just in video games or even movies. So let's take a look back and see where exactly Easter eggs came from. The first Easter egg to be discovered was in a 1979 Atari 2600 game named Adventure. A year prior to the game's release, Warren Robinett began working on this game, but his boss was not very fond of the game because for the time this game took up a lot of kilobytes to run, and it was feared that it wouldn't be able to run on the 2600, so that's why his boss was not really approved of it. But Robinett worked on it anyways. When he presented it to Atari, they encouraged him to continue working on Adventure. Ray Kasser, who might sound familiar to some of you, became the CEO of Atari that same year as well. He had an odd belief in terms of who to credit for creating games. In his own words, he stated, "You're no more important to those projects than the person on the assembly line. Without them, your games wouldn't have sold anything. I dealt with your kind before. You're a dime a dozen. You're not unique. Anyone can do a cartridge." In other words, Atari only credited themselves for games they made instead of the actual developers behind them. This was during a time when there were no credits at the end of a game. This is why Robinett decided to credit himself in the game anyways.
Multiple power plays on us. They wouldn't let us get any public recognition because I knew what was going to happen. If when I finished it was going to be, the box was going to say Adventure by Atari. There wasn't going to be no mention of my name. So I was sneaky. I hid my name in the game.
If you're successfully able to find the little gray dot in Adventure, then you'll be greeted with this message that says created by Warren Robinett. Atari was unaware about this secret message until Adam Clayton informed them about it. And just to keep it short, the Atari management was livid. Brad Stewart would be the one that would hunt down the code and had the idea of changing it to say fixed by Brad Stewart. Atari just wanted to remove the code, but it would cost around $10,000, so Atari decided to keep it. Also, to make themselves feel better, they thought it would be a better challenge for the player to find this secret message. Now, for a very long time as a kid, I've actually grown up with Adventure. I had an Atari Forever, which is an Atari classic if you want to call it that, just a retro console made by Atari. At least from my knowledge, I don't think I've ever found this. Maybe I have, but I don't remember. I really don't remember. I feel like I have, but I don't want to say that. Steve Wright would be the one to declare the famous term Easter egg after this discovery. But believe it or not, there is an origin story to this origin story about how Robinett came up with the idea to put a hidden message. So back in the late 60s, there was a conspiracy going around that Paul McCartney was dead. One of the evidences that people had was that they believed from a report that Paul McCartney was killed in a car accident. And then a couple years later, the famous album Abbey Road was released, and some kid from Drake University who worked for the newspaper named Tim Harper made an article called "Is Beatle Paul McCartney Dead?" Because when you play back one of the songs called Strawberry Fields Forever backwards at the 9-second mark, you'll hear "I Buried Paul." Here, have a listen. John Lennon though later clarified that this was meant to say cranberry sauce. If you think I'm making this up, hear it from the guy himself.
There was a rumor that Paul McCartney was dead, and then you played this one Beatles song backwards and you could supposedly hear the words "I buried Paul," and then people were playing all the Beatle records backwards searching for secret messages. That's what I thought of, the secret messages in the Beatle recordings.
So I'm not going to go into this conspiracy anymore because Paul McCartney's clearly not dead, even till this day. But yeah, that's where Robinett got his inspiration. I don't know how really. So believe it or not though, before the Easter egg that was officially called an Easter egg, there was another Easter egg in a video game. This was from the famous 1977 Atari game named Starship 1, and this would be kept a secret for over 30 years. But then a previous Microsoft executive named Ed Fries posted on his blog about this discovery. Ron Milner, one of Starship's developers, would reveal this secret to Ed. If you push some buttons in the right combination, you'll get a secret message that says "Hi by Ron. And yeah, that's it. There's not really that much of a story, it's just a little secret. But these sort of BC type of Easter eggs still do exist that have been hidden for so long and only recently discovered. Another example is in 2004, where a programmer named Bradley Reed Self's surname was found in a 1978 video game called Video Whizball for the Fairchild Channel F system. Ed Fries believes that there are many other Easter eggs out there though that we've never discovered, and yeah, he's probably right. And with games like Red Dead Redemption 2 coming out, there's going to be a lot more Easter eggs to discover, but it is sad to look back and realize that the first official Easter egg came because people weren't being given credit. There were some Atari developers that I actually had trouble finding their photos for this video. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.